New always talking shit show.
Yo, what's good? What's happening? It's your boy Talkin.
And it's your boy Keem Sincere. What's good, man?
You're
we
back,
in the building.
back in another session of the Always Talking Shit Show.
What's good? What's good with you?
Not shit. Not shit,
day, man.
Going into retirement.
Another day, another. Oh, okay. You ready to retire, huh?
I'm going into podcast retirement.
You ready to get out the game, huh?
Yeah, Marty. They've already inducted me into the Podcast Hall of Fame, man.
Okay. See, I miss Cutie, nigga. I thought you was talking about that game.
Nah, that shit's fun. That's the only life I got right now until I feel safe enough to go out in these unmasked streets.
Shit, why they unmasked? Nigga, put your mask on. Ain't no law saying you can't wear your mask. And I just learned about these you dirty motherfuckers, man. You niggas just learn how to wash your hands. So.
Nah, it's just funny. So, it's like this role play shit I play with GTA, right?
Yeah, you gotta get that GTA shit out first.
GTA roleplay
Thank you, fam.
server.
You gotta get that out first.
Right,
that shit sound crazy.
To all my like GTA players out there, it's not your traditional thing. You know, it's not the online shit. So it's like you go in a city where it's like PD, there's paramedics and all that shit. And motherfuckers have like little relationships and all that shit, right?
Right.
So I caught myself getting to a little relate. Let me just show you how crazy this shit is. So I found myself getting into this little relationship with this John, right? And just in game fucking around, right? So this John. Damn, I couldn't my train of thought like a motherfucker, yo.
Dude, don't blame me this time, nigga. I ain't.
Oh yeah. Alright, so was rocking with this John in the game for a minute, whatever, blah blah blah. I go to like this party, right? Little yacht party or this little thing going on. This other little bitch there was on me in the party, nigga. You know, I was on my fly shit, you know, you get niggas suited and booted in the Louis Vuitton and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Had a whole Louis suit on. So asked me, it's wild, bro. Asked me about all the shit over there. I had to let her know who I was in the city, all that extra shit. So we fast forward, right? They just be on me, bro. Cause at that thing, I was just sitting there. I wasn't even like talking to nobody, or whatever. You know, I was just sitting there.
Right. Right.
So leave the yacht party or whatever. A couple days later, I tell a chick like, "Look, I'm trying to have a little throuple situation in here. I need trying to have you and this other chick, right?" I've been putting this on her for a while or whatever. She just ain't never felt it. So finally, I'm like, I go to the chick and I'm like, hey, so we gonna turn this whole little shit on his side, on his head real quick for this little reality show they trying to tape in there. So basically, we did a Maury Provish where I said I was a bitch baby daddy from a long time ago. She done got DNA tests and all this shit, right? So break up with that because I was like, all right, so now we're gonna have this try to make this whole happy family shit. Me, the new baby mama and the bitch I was currently with. So I'm like, you know, we're gonna try to make the triangle thing. So the chick went feeling it, sent me, because we got phones in here. So she sent me a text. She was like, I should have ended our relationship because I told you I wasn't on no poly type shit. Let's talk about today. So I ended with the other bitch, right? So today, this other bitch, because she had made a comment like, you know, the one I wanted to fuck with in here, he got a man or he got a girl already, right? And there was me and two other dudes in there that got females in the game. So I'm not trying to be egotistical, like, oh, bitch, you on my nest or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So today, I'm talking about what happened to me and the ex-chick, how I ended up with a new one. And she's like, so this is why you would never have me. Try to say, like, I was, like, for first round picking, like, the game, nigga. Like, these motherfuckers be wilding in this game I be playing, bro. I ain't even gonna cap it to you. Wilding the fuck out. And there's, like, all type of drama now in this shit. Like, all in the city is, like, drama between, like, hella factions now because of what just fucking popped off and transpired, Joe.
Yeah, man. That shit's wild. I'm not gonna lie. You know me. I don't really play games, but, like, hey, man, the way I can't admire, like, the advancements
Right.
in some of these games and shit, like the way they didn't, like, develop socially and like interaction wise and things of that nature. Like, I dig it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could dig it. I be seeing you do your thing or whatever. Y'all niggas be communicating. And I remember when I was a shorty nigga, I used to think that, like, it'd be tight if I could play niggas and talk to them. You know what I'm saying?
Now that's like
normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that. That shit is hard to me. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas all over the world playing games, nigga. Till you get called that N-word too many times. That shit gets old.
You gotta expect it. Can't get our Kyrie back.
Called a nigger on so many different game
Hey, man.
modes, nigga.
You're not. Keem ain't losing sleep because you call him the N-word.
It just be so funny how niggas be so pressed.
You gotta go get a new one. What be funny is when niggas get mad at that shit and, like, be ready to, like, throw it all away. Like, fam, just act like it had a A at the end of it. Worst case scenario, nigga. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Nah, I might slap you.
You could be, to me, in my opinion, you can't be that offended of the word nigga. Not you. No, I'm not saying you.
I'm talking nigger. I'm not a nigger.
To me, I just think they're the same word.
Yeah, I really don't like anybody other than black people saying nigga. I ain't gonna keep. I ain't gonna cap with you.
I had somebody tell me straight up once. They were like, it was an older guy. We were younger. He was like, well, how do you feel about that when it's being used in the music and in the culture?
I don't like that. I mean,
so you know what's funny is, bro, it's not really, it's starting to get there. Like, it's just now starting to get to be like a political or a career death sentence if you get caught using that word.
Right.
Like, if you get caught with, like, the old pictures of you in blackface or some shit like that, you can lose your job now. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of blackface,
it used to just be an apology.
How do we give Drake that pass for having that blackface picture? that nigga Pusha T.
Well,
fucking.
do you have it all in? Do you have the context of it? Is that what you mean? Because he did. I mean, there was explanation to it. Even the people that took the picture did it because he was doing some. It was like an art program about. And they were paying homage to the era. That's why.
How do you pay homage to something that's so terrible,
bro? Because the menstrual cycle is a lot of blacks got their start in the menstrual cycle. Like, it was, nigga, you wasn't gonna get a noble role. Like, you had to go be a mammy or somebody like or a buffoon or a Sambo or. Mm-hmm. It's funny, dog, because it's characters like that has ingratiated black people with white people. So, like, think about being a kid. You're an innocent little white kid, and you find it funny of a character that's on a funny show, right, and he happens to be a black Sambo character, and you just grow, oh, I love him. You don't know what the humiliating aspects of it and all that shit at that age. You're really entertained by that.
It's fucked up with your parents watching that shit and letting
right,
you
but
be
what happens,
entertained
when it
by
gets serious
that
is
shit.
that shit becomes a part of your psyche.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's some ill shit, man. It's fun. Like, my mother has, like, old collector's items and shit like that. I hated them for a long time. I used to hate them shit,
scary.
That and I just felt they were racist.
They're
like, man, fuck these
racist.
shits. But they're worth hella money, and, like, it's what we're gonna talk about later. And, like, you can't rewrite history. The shit happened. Like, and there was a role played in that, and our people survived that. It's okay to like commemorate it. Right. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to necessarily like advertise it and showcase. That wouldn't be the logo of our podcast and no stupid shit like that. But you know, commemoration is good. Because people don't even really understand. Like, that's a big part of it. Mm. When you start thinking of people as inferior, Birth of a Nation is probably the most racist film ever.
Right.
But it was the first film ever. Mm. And it kind of became the backdrop of American films. This is the role of the Mexican. This is the role of the native. This is the role of the black person.
Right.
This is the role of the white woman. This is the role of the white male. I'm about to fire this up. So I just think that it's important, man. Like, it's important to have those conversations, man. And I know for a fact, having those things in the house, as I got older, I realized they sparked a lot of conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just looking at, like, look at that shit. Why is it like that? You know what I mean? It's wild shit. You watching any of these playoffs?
Yeah. I watched LA.
So LA
lose a really good game to Phoenix.
Yeah, it was a good game, but it was an ugly game for LA. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it was a good game. But you're right though, it was still a good game.
It just lets you know that niggas better watch out for Phoenix, bruh. This might not be their year. Next year might not be their year, but nigga, they keep putting it together with Booker, bruh.
Well, finally they got a new owner.
Right.
Got a new coaching staff and general manager in there.
You keep
they had an owner like the Knicks. They had a Knicks type owner where like Dolan don't spend money.
Yeah.
And like now Dolan's getting out of the way.
Yep.
And the Arizona guy, he got around. I guess he was on some racist shit too. They got him up out of there, but like allegedly, you know, I don't want to put that on him if it ain't true. But he got up out of there because Devin Booker has been there balling.
Yep.
And they wouldn't spend money. And Arizona is actually a basketball destination because
look at the people came out of fucking Arizona.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, just for pros. I'm talking about just for pros.
Oh, I'm like, nigga,
like, when you think about
Marley
pros,
played
when
there.
When you think about pros, it's the aspect of basketball's a winter sport, fam.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be cold, I need to be in Philly, New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be Boston. Yeah. I need to be in a city where it's like it's worth me being there. Mm-hmm. It's so many people that I can grow my brand off court by being in New York, by being in Chicago or some shit like that. But nigga, you don't want to be like Reno would suck to have a pro basketball team because you don't want to be cold as fuck, nigga, just in Reno during basketball season.
Yep.
It's not cracking enough.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like now
it's really not.
New York cracking, like nigga, you put on a little goose down bubble coat or something, nigga, and get to it. But Arizona, year round, has that Las Vegas type weather.
Right.
I mean, think about it, nigga. You fly back from Chicago.
Unless you go to Scottsdale. I got caught in a blizzard, nigga, trying to go get my dad from Texas.
In Scottsdale?
No, nigga, it snows.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Who knew?
Snows.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I've been to Scottsdale hella times too and never knew it snowed.
Snow, nigga. I blizzard when I went to go get my pops, like whiteout. Nigga almost had to pull over and stay there for the night.
Damn. You don't think that's where you're gonna have a problem at?
Nah, nigga. I was like, it's Arizona, nigga. I'm here, nigga. I'm going. Nah, apparently up north, nigga, it gets cold.
That makes sense, kind of like Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's crazy, boy. I ain't know that. I did not know that. You learn something new every day. Shout out to Arizona. I thought it was just all.
Cause I damn sure thought it was finna be smooth sailing, nigga. It was snowing.
At least you get to the other side.
It was snowing like the no snows on a bad day, nigga.
Yes. That's real snow. You know what I'm saying? That's real snow.
I see niggas wiping out on the side of the road and all types of shit, bro.
That's crazy.
Nah, the playoffs been cool so far. Knicks better come on with it.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of.
They talking about whoever they're playing, or they talking about Trae Young is the Nick killer right now.
He did his thing. Well, you know what's funny? Shout out to New York, man.
Were they number 2 in the East?
No, I don't think so. I think they were like 3 or 4.
It's still, nigga.
But some arrogant New York shit.
You just turned it on all of a sudden. I like that.
Some arrogant New York shit. Niggas ain't been in the playoffs in how long?
Oh yeah.
Niggas is talking shit to Trey Young, nigga. They chanting "fuck you" to this nigga. They on some New York Garden shit.
Like this nigga
So
Trey Young ain't no sniper.
They was
nigga.
on his head, and then like nigga, he had to battle back, nigga. And then finally he just got in his bag, nigga. Was like, "Fuck y'all, nigga. I'm Trey Young out here."
Start sniping
And
their
did his
ass.
thing, nigga. He game go ahead winner in the Garden, first playoff game. That's legendary stuff right there, nigga.
What's Atlanta? Number 1 or number
No,
7
they're
or
like
something?
No, they're not that far. They're like
They got to be
they're in the
playing the
mid-range.
4.
no, because what was the Knicks? The Knicks finished at like 4 or something, 3, 4.
Because it's 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5, right?
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
1-8, 2-7,
You right.
3-6, yeah, 4-5.
Yeah, because those be the toughest matchups. That 4 or 5 matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, because then 1 and 8
Dallas,
blowouts.
LA right now. Dallas Clippers right now. Y'all, you're not really not that much better than them.
Right.
Like that's why everybody thought it was stupid that y'all fucked off the game so you didn't have to play the Lakers, but now you're gonna play Dallas. And Dallas is sitting there like, oh, you're gonna lose games so you can play us.
Is that really what they did?
Yeah, you're gonna lose games so you can play us. Now think about how the Lakers look right now. From the
You mean the
play-in game
Clippers?
to the game 1, the Clippers could have won that first game, right?
Yeah.
Like that was your chance to get them.
Yeah, you could have won that first
Y'all
game
trying to be
against
cute.
LA.
You lost 3 games on purpose to fall out of the top seed, so you didn't have to play them. But now Dallas is sitting there like, nigga, y'all only beat us.
The only reason they fell to 8 is because LeBron was hurt for like a quarter of the season, right?
And it was a moment they had no LeBron or AD.
See, that's what I'm saying. I was about to say.
Or Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's when AD supposed to step up, but I didn't realize he was hurt too.
Nah, he was hurt too. So
yeah,
that's the thing.
So there's
like,
nothing you can do about
they
that.
both just getting back right
yeah,
now.
there's nothing you can do about that.
You know what I'm
Lucky
saying?
that
You
they
just
even
gotta play
made it to
through
the
it.
fucking playoffs,
Y'all,
nigga.
it's realistic. Y'all wasn't even supposed to be in the, and it wouldn't even been their fault, really.
Not at all.
But it's just like, nigga.
Because you're talking about Schroeder, Kuzman, Caruso, Pope. These niggas supposed to carry y'all? Like, they're not terrible
hold on.
players,
and
but
they was
nigga.
doing good, and then Schroeder got that COVID shit where they made him sit out for like 14
and it's not
days.
saying that they're terrible players, but the
Nah.
West is hard, nigga.
You need stars.
Right. You
Fuck
can't
all
win
that.
in the West with
You
no
need
stars, nigga.
Like, with no stars, nigga?
Yeah.
Like,
Psych. Go home, nigga.
what the fuck you gonna do with
Take
that,
your
man?
ball and go home, bro. Try
Yeah,
again
bro.
next
Like,
year,
next
bro.
year.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, next year. Y'all had a fucked
The
up year.
East is the only conference where you can win without having superstars.
Yeah, and it still don't even happen a lot.
Because
Like,
Detroit's one of the only ones that nigga.
I feel you on that.
Who did Detroit
But
have that was like a super?
But even when they
superstar?
were saying that, I'm like, bro, Rip is a star. Like Rip and Chauncey, nigga, Rasheed Wallace was a star.
I'm talking about like mega, like big 3 type star.
They weren't.
That's what I'm talking about.
No,
like, big
like
3.
star wise, I think they had that. They didn't have that kind of like fanfare because
That's what I mean.
Yeah, niggas
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
them.
Right,
Like, niggas
exactly.
Didn't
Yep.
like Sheed, but he was a fucking star, a perennial all star, and a first ballot Hall of Fame.
That's what I mean.
Like,
That's what I mean. I
okay,
don't
yeah.
mean like star, like they weren't
That's all I'm
great
saying.
basketball
Yeah,
players.
like they
all
were.
of them are
and
great.
compared to other players, like,
Yeah.
no, nigga, that's Rip.
Right.
Like that's Tayshaun, nigga. They had a squad, but I get what you're saying. Like they didn't have marketable
It
stars
wasn't
where it
3
was
of
like,
them with an IAS endorsement deal and
no, yeah, they didn't have that.
hundreds of
They
millions
didn't
of
have
dollars
that.
in contracts. And
They didn't
shit.
have
Right.
that. They didn't have that.
That's what I'm talking about. It wasn't no like big 3 type shit.
And then Atlanta did that a couple years. They didn't win the chip.
Right.
LeBron got them the fuck up out of here.
Yep.
But they had set a record, nigga, and they didn't have no star. They had about 7-man roster of just
with
good players.
JR or not JR Smith, with Josh Smith.
Yeah,
when he was there.
remember?
Yep.
Yeah, he was like the closest thing to a star they had.
Smith was a baller. He was. I feel like he was underrated.
No, likability.
Yeah, he was
Likability,
He was a
being
great player. Yeah,
people
but,
to work in the industry. You don't have to kiss ass,
you
but
gotta
people
be
in the
liked.
industry, somebody got to like you.
right.
You got to have somebody to
Because
stick their
I
name out for you.
ain't gonna cap. I liked when he played for Detroit. I like watching Josh Smith in Detroit. He was over there hooping.
If Josh Smith ever landed on a team with LeBron, he'd be a champion.
He would. Or AD, or Durant,
He'd be a champion.
or fucking
Steph.
Curry and
He'd be a
fucking
champion.
Clay.
It's just that he was a guy that had superstar skill set and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And, nigga, he came out of the league right out of high school, was on his way to North Carolina and shit. Nigga, fuck it, I'm going to the league too. Came to the league, made a couple early all-star teams, got a big bag. You're in Atlanta. Nigga, you want to grow? You going to let this nigga grow up from 18 to 23, 24 in Atlanta making millions and wonder why he's not a professional?
He came to Detroit balling though. He didn't cause us too many issues.
I get it, but
But
that
he
was
just
when he
grew
was
up
trying
a
to like
lot.
save his reputation and
Right.
like, but it was too late then.
Yeah, that's
Like-
why he went to the Pistons.
You know what I mean?
Because the Pistons like that type of Detroit embraces all type of hood
Reclamation
shit,
projects,
nigga.
nigga. Like,
Yep.
let me get back and prove I still got it.
Yep. We'll take you.
But even then,
Look what we did for Blake.
even then, if you have a mentality of a superstar, now lottery pick out of high school, if you still think of yourself as that prospect
Yep.
instead of the 6-man to role player type caliber that you really were, like if he
You
just
won't have the
mastered
right
his
attitude.
role,
Yeah.
college does that for a lot of athletes because you get on a team with a nigga that's just as nice as you, if not nicer, a little
Right.
older, a little stronger. Maybe you better than him, but he's more prepared than you because he's a junior or sophomore.
Yep.
You have to get in where you fit in. You kind of got to respect that. Like, and some players, you could tell they never really learned that because when you that superstar and then you go to the league, it's hard to go from being a superstar all through your life, nationally ranked, to get to the league, and they telling you like, no, you're
not
gonna,
a superstar.
you're a role
You're-
player
you're-
at
yeah.
best. Work hard and shut your mouth, nigga. And you
Lou
might
Williams,
you might
nigga.
have a career.
Look at Lou Williams.
Lou Williams was a star, and then nah.
Yep.
And the thing is, that reputation precedes you because I'm like, nigga, he still was putting up 20 a night. Like, he could have been a perennial all-star. Nobody looked at him like that because he came off the bench.
Exactly.
He fucked up when he didn't want to leave L.A. So when the Clippers traded, the Lakers traded him to the Clippers. And then he re-signed with them for $8 million a year. And I'm like, everybody was saying, like, nigga, if you'd have put your name on the market,
You would have got.
you
picked
could at
up
least got
fast
12, 14.
and been a starter. Nigga could have been a starting point guard in fucking Philly.
The Clippers miss him right now.
Tell me, he is in Philly, right? Yeah,
Atlanta.
Williams
No, he's in Atlanta.
He's in Atlanta
He's in
now?
Atlanta.
Because he was in Philly
He's
last
in
year,
Atlanta.
wasn't he?
No, he's in Atlanta. He didn't go to Philly. He was in Clippers and then Atlanta.
He'd have been great in Philly, nigga.
He'd been perfect in Philly. He started out in Philly.
Yeah, with no point guard
Yeah, I
now,
know,
he'd
yeah.
have been great, nigga. Nigga, Timberwolves, nigga.
But
No,
Cass,
because Timberwolves got Williams.
Cats be lazy.
Timberwolves got Williams.
you know what I'm saying? Cats be lazy. Like, you
And
come
see,
off
okay,
the
so
bench.
that type of
Hold on
shit.
real quick. You come off the bench.
Uh-huh.
Fuck it. Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford has a year where, due to injury, he comes off bench, and he's killing. And then because he's still nursing himself back, he lets the coaching staff know, like, no, I actually like coming off the bench because I can gauge it. Well, nigga, now it's looked at, oh, he can come off your bench. So everybody was signing him to come off the bench. And it's like, I've seen Jamal Crawford on teams where he should have started, where he was putting up starters numbers, but from the bench. And I'm like, everybody's not Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili was a superstar overseas.
Yep.
And because he was getting older,
He came over here and rode the bench.
Pop was like, nah, let's just bring you off the bench. Well, you got a starter coming off the bench.
Yep.
And an older guy that embraces that role, who's a mega star in his home country and overseas, so his ego is fed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I'm getting paid from my international
And I'm winning
team, and I'm getting
championships.
paid over here. So if you look at his contracts
And we're
all
winning
together,
chips.
if you look at his contracts all together, he was getting paid a max contract. If you're getting 50 from Barcelona, the nigga,
Another 50 from here.
nah, nigga, the Spurs only got to come in and pay you $70 million.
Right,
Now
right,
you got your 100 plus, and you're not even getting taxed on that shit over there.
Nope.
Come on, fam. Nike is releasing sneakers and shit for you in your home country. Like, come on now. Like, why would you? Of course, that's different than taking a guy that's a borderline starter and saying, "No, we need you to come off the bench."
Yeah.
He knows this is costing me millions of dollars. This is costing me any chance of endorsements.
Yeah.
You can't be looked at as superstar endorsing products like a
You're
Manu
coming off the
Ginobili
bench.
coming off the bench if you don't have that international background.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just a catch-22. John Sally was talking about it, and I've already peeped this in my own knowledge, but he's the first person I heard say it. He was like, they're trying to get the Negro out of basketball in America. They're literally trying to replace us with European and Africans. Yeah. They're spending millions of dollars in Africa to develop basketball. They don't do that in the projects in America.
Nope.
They're spending millions and millions of dollars in Cuba and South America to develop baseball. Because a black kid from Chicago that's the number one pick, he want that number one pick money. Yep. You can go spend $10 million and bring 8 future Golden Glove winners from Cuba off just $10 million. Yep. An American player is going to want that a year, at least.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? Like, nigga, I'm the number one pick. I'm the best hit. Like, what do you mean? Go look at the Sammy Sosa story. They was underpaying that nigga drastically until he got ingratiated with his American teammates. That was like, bro, you're the number one. You're like the biggest star in the league. How much they're paying you? They wasn't even paying him. They were just giving that nigga money and putting him up in a hotel. And when they threatened to come out about that shit publicly, the Cubs nigga jotted out that nigga a major league contract quick, nigga, like, cause they had just gave that nigga like $30,000 and just had him in a hotel room.
Yeah.
With room service.
Ain't no way.
But that's how poor he is coming from where he coming from. He thinking he up. He don't know nothing about no contracts and no money. Right. Like, why would they deal with, and people wonder why the African American athlete has like vanished from baseball. That's not all by choice. They'll tell you on TV, oh, it's because these black kids, they like excitement. They like to play football and basketball better. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. It's just a money scheme. You know what I'm saying? But, man, I came across a story, bro. Fucked me up. The GOP, and before I say this, bro, we're not necessarily a political podcast. We're just a podcast where we talk our shit. And although we were open about how we voted because we felt like it was responsible, I mean, I don't know you to be some card-carrying Democrat that's just a lefty. That right?
Nah, I'm just common sense
niggas
thinker.
just trying to. That's what we fan. Okay, so I just wanted to bring you in on that. We fancy ourselves over here as just common sense.
So I told you,
thinkers
this is my last
and stuff
year,
like that.
The last 4 years of either side. After this, nigga,
I need to see something, right? Yeah,
something
else got to give, right? So I'm looking at this.
AOC and them to create their own shit.
Right. I'm looking at this shit, bro.
Party.
GOP, the GOP. The people we call Republicans. And if you think of yourself as a Republican, you're responsible for this. This is you too. You need to speak out about these things. We need to hear you. And what is it going to take for you to walk away from that? This is a racist organization as we sit today. They're literally right now pushing a bill in Congress that will banish the teaching of slavery and white Americans' roles in it. And they're claiming, even though America is drastically undereducated when it comes to the slave trade and all that takes place moving from that moment forward, they're saying that the reason why America must stop teaching what it did to black people is because it's starting to affect white people's self-esteem.
I don't feel bad about that at all.
How many
motherfuckers? I don't give a fuck if it hurts white people's self-esteem and young white people's self-esteem. Our self-esteem has been fucked up since we got here. Let's call a spade a spade. Our self-esteem ain't never been where the fuck it needs to be. We just know we're the shit at certain things, and we know how to carry ourselves as that. But we're that friend that you need to check on because we look good on the outside, but you know, shit going on the inside, bro. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that sucks. That sucks. That really does suck. But it sucks that also we got to be in the same classes with you and hear about our fucking history just passed right the fuck over. It's in there. Our history is just passed the fuck over in a month. You're supposed to get all of black history in February in school.
Well, and they start in slavery.
So, fuck you. Feel bad. You should. Maybe you'll speak out against the school that you go to.
This is my thing. I don't believe it. Like, it's not about whether I care if anyone feels bad or not. Look, I don't want nobody to feel bad. Nobody should have to feel bad about their culture, right?
But I'm just saying, like, but if you guys feel bad,
I think that's a play on
like,
words. No, I think look, listen to me, fam. I've never heard a white person, any of my white friends and loved ones have never came up to me and said, hey, I feel bad. I'm having issues of self-esteem because of what my ancestors did to you all.
Well, no, because right now it's not even that they give a fuck about the white people's feelings. It's they want to rewrite the narrative so
that's
it doesn't
what I'm trying
look
to get
bad.
To, right? It's like at the end of the day, it's like I've long learned that white politicians don't speak for white people. Right? It's just that we live in a country that we're
not
all
the white people we really know.
It's just that we live in a country that we're all kind of like on this rat race. So from black people that are like have the most to lose to white people that really it doesn't really change their lives necessarily who's in the office.
Right.
Both of those people still like lack engagement at times for certain various issues, right? Because of certain various distractions and things of that nature. All I'm saying is Just like I always felt that it was ill for 7 to 12 older white men to decide women's reproductive rights in Congress. I think it's kind of crazy that white men average age 80, you know what I mean, all millionaires to billionaires, can speak as if they actually are in tune with the average white American enough to know that they're suffering. Like they give a fuck about the average male and female in their culture.
Not at all.
Nothing about this government, nothing about these political giant house parties, nothing about this infrastructure says that it cares about common folk or it cares about emotion and sensibility. For damn sure, if you're not of a certain color or a certain culture, right? I just think it's crazy. We have to really be careful. The number one problem with race is lack of education. We have people that are emboldened enough in 2021 to spew on television and to indoctrinate a bill that suggests, hey, we barely teach what America really did anyway. We already kind of do a white supremacist version of history. But what if we just didn't teach our flaws at all? What if we just didn't teach what we did to black people at all? And we just act like it never happened? Because that's pretty much what they do anyway. But now they're just emboldened enough to say it. Like, oh, no, you know what? Fuck all that slavery shit. It's just like, how do you have respect for the Holocaust? How do you speak about what was done to the Native Americans? How do you speak about immigration as a respectful democracy? And you attempt, or you let certain parts of the governing body attempt to rewrite history or to allocate history.
That sounds like the most American thing I've ever heard.
So, like-minded people, we got some work to do, fam. We got some work to do. We can't take this shit for granted. They're showing us right in front of our face that, like, yo, everything that you know and love and is comforted with can be taken, can be removed, can be shifted. I mean, we all got to wear masks before we go in the store. Nobody, 5 years ago, you'd have thought, nigga, nah, they can't.
We used to look at the Asians crazy because they wear masks everywhere.
Niggas thought Michael Jackson was a weirdo.
Right.
Cats thought Michael Jackson was a weirdo. This nigga's been wearing masks. You know what I mean? Because he's been around the world and he's seen viruses. See, a lot of people in Asia, they've dealt with a lot of these issues. We haven't. We think that New York is overpopulated. We think we got a little traffic here. Shit. Asia, that's a part of life, is dealing with a mass population and all the ills that come with that.
Fuck even driving. I don't even want to walk in Asia. It's crowded.
It's crowded, bro. It's gonna be a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cracking. You know what I mean? It's cracking. And the cool thing about all that is that, okay, we know now. This is something that Americans know, like, this could happen. Hopefully, motherfuckers learned how to wash their hands. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, people, if they're feeling a little sick and they got to go to Walmart, they'll throw a mask on.
Or stay home.
Or they'll send someone else to the store.
Yeah, you got all types of DoorDash and grocery.
Right. So, we'll see, man. We'll see, but I just wanted to get your idea on that, man. I want to share that with the listeners, man. I wanted people to just let that be a talking point, and going forward in the future. Let us remember that they're literally trying to rewrite our history, and they're trying to rob. If you got a black person you care about, if you love hip hop, jazz, rock and roll, and soul, if you like stand up comedy in the way that we know it today, if you like fashion and slang terminology in the way that we know it today, hey man, I dare any white person to go truly do the research and try to fathom what your life would be like in America without the Negro. Like, I dare any white person to go Google black inventions.
Stoplight, air conditioner, ice cream.
I mean, we could just name them, bro.
Telephone.
You motherfuckers have just been out here eating jam, no
electricity.
Peanut butter. Well, y'all have been out here with jam, no peanut butter.
Niggas don't
You know
talk
what I mean?
about black people creating the phone and electricity.
What about time?
Right.
What about the watch? What about the clock? What about math and science? What about alchemy? Learning how to pluck food and edible things from the ground.
Or learning how to
Like,
take
turning
food
the earth
that's
over.
supposed to be fucked up and inedible and making it some of the greatest food
Right.
known
And
to man.
that's because we came from like some of the greatest alchemists known to man. They had already turned this earth over for thousands of years. You know what I mean? So it's just something to pay attention to. Most black people have this history like recited in their homes, right? We talk about these things amongst ourselves. It's very like tribal. The information that black people have about this country and the migration of it, the evolution of it is very tribal. And you might get pieces of it through our music. You know what I mean? You might get things like that, but for the most part, bro, you're not gonna get. And that's that's why this is such a detrimental thing. Like to stop writing and teaching about the slave trade, stop teaching about Jim Crow and about redlining and systemic racism.
Well, according to some people, that shit don't exist.
Well, but the thing is, like, something has to be there for you to deny it.
Right.
Right? I'm cool with people denying that it exists. That doesn't not make it a thing. Right. What not makes it a thing is when the U.S. government is allowing the GOP, a very select group of racist men and women, to introduce a bill that says, hey, we should stop teaching these things because of the psychological aspect that it has on white students. I just don't know any of my white friends that ever feel like, hey, man, you know, sometimes when I go to school, it just really sucks. And it hurts me because I just hate what we did to black people. Now, I know white people that are sympathetic of racism and they're sympathetic of black plights. They understand that, like, oh, this is kind of fucked up, man. Like, I don't have no control here, and I'm not a supporter of this, and they'll voice that. But they'll voice that in their actions more than their words, right? That being said, who are they speaking for? That'd be the question. Like, when these dudes get in the room and decide what a woman is legally able to do with her body, and no woman is in the room, who are they speaking for? Like, who gave them this power?
Stupid ass Americans.
And that's the point. You said it. Because now I think that, you know, it's kind of pretty much a line in the sand. And like I said, bro, this ain't no pro-Democrat podcast today. This is just pro-common sense. Like, I'm on their ass too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that, like, man, when you see some of the things that the GOP is aligning themselves with, some of the ideas and thinking, some of the comments coming out and being made. You know, you had a Republican GOP member that said literally before Congress that if this was Black Lives Matter that had raided the Capitol, he would have been fearful of his life.
I remember,
but
shit,
because
dude.
It wasn't Black Lives Matter and it was just some white crazy people, he knew that he was safe.
Black man said that.
That's crazy. No, it was a white dude.
It was a white dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. Don't get it twisted. It was a black dude up there, a member of the GOP. See, and all this shit ain't just easily black and white. I'm glad you said that, Dre, because there's many black people. I'm not going to say many, but there's a lot. There's enough. That are indoctrinated or even paid to align themselves with the GOP and literally speak ill of
black leaders,
black plight, the leader of black people. And it's just crazy to me. Herschel Walker, you should be a damn shame to yourself.
Fuck him.
You should be a damn shame to yourself.
Well, fuck you.
You know what I mean? And many others.
Speaking of comedians, though, you just said something about comedians. Rest in peace to fucking Paul Mooney.
Damn. Let's get a moment of silence for the OG.
Damn.
All right.
If you don't know who the fuck Paul Mooney is,
we're not talking to you.
Paul Mooney is written for some of the greatest comedians, some of the greatest shows, you're talking about a writer for Saturday Night Live, you're talking about one of the writers for Richard Pryor, you're talking about one of the writers for Richard Pryor's show, you're talking about one of the writers for the Chappelle show, you're talking about one of Chappelle's writers, you're talking about one of the greatest
comedic minds
of all time comedic. You're talking about one of Red Fox's writers, Red Fox, Sanford and Son writers,
Yeah, man.
If you are a comedy fan and you don't know who Paul Mooney is, you're not a comedy fan.
Hey,
You
shout
don't
out
know
to
shit about comedy.
shout out to Joe Rogan. I heard Joe Rogan tell a story once when he first got on one of his first tours. He got to open up for Paul Mooney, and get this, a Richard Pryor who was making his return back to stand up because he knew that he was dying.
Yep.
And so if you're just a big Joe Rogan fan and you think Joe Rogan's one of the greats, just understand the lineage in which he comes from.
He got to perform open. For
You know what I'm saying? He got to
two of the
learn and
greatest
bomb in
ever.
front of the two of the greatest ever. And I just think that America should give us our credit for that. We're an accepting culture. We're an accepting culture. Yeah, Paul Mooney, man, it's crazy because when you become synonymous with the truth, they put you in that crazy box. They did that with George Carlin.
That's what I was about to say.
They did that with Paul Mooney.
Back to if you back
and it
to
was somebody else. I can't
back
think of.
to comedy. If you don't know who Paul Mooney is,
Dick Gregory. All three of them got the same treatment.
If you don't know who George Carlin is, if you don't know who Dick Gregory is, I can't really call you a comedy fan.
You gotta go do your homework.
I can't because
you just gotta go do your homework.
George Carlin
Was a great.
one of the greatest.
Sounds a bad
I'm gonna
man.
say one of the greatest white comedians, but you could
He's
take
one of the
color
greatest
out
comedians.
for him.
Yeah, he's just one of the greatest comedians, dog.
The nigga
Yeah.
was funny as hell, bruh.
You know who? Now we cooking. You know who George Carlin? Like, you know who reminds me of George Carlin?
Who?
In their own way. But Dave Chappelle is like a reincarnation of George
For sure.
Carlin. Like, the intellectual space that he sits in when he tells his jokes, like, anybody else tells those jokes, they're not funny, bro.
Look at
and
the
they sound
progression.
nerdy.
And
Like,
look at the progression of Dave Chappelle, from Def Comedy Jam
right,
to Chappelle on Netflix, dog.
right.
Just that whole.
Now, I was an early Dave Chappelle fan.
You
And-
can just
and what I
I'm
know
talking
about-
is the wokeness in his career. You can see him from the young man.
Because that's the thing.
Then we see half.
He's like the LeBron of comedy. This nigga got on early, bro. Same thing with Eddie Murphy. People don't realize that. They got on early. I've always said, man.
And how many cult classics?
I'm most envious of people. Remember we were talking about this,
Right.
That know exactly what they want to do on this earth
And just
at an
did
early
it.
age. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about I want to go to the league. Like this is
Anything
pipe dream.
at
I'm just
an
talking
early
about
age.
like something that you just know, like, because the thing about going to a league in a professional sport, all my athletes, shit like that, could say this. There's other factors determining if you get those opportunities.
Exactly.
If you say I want to be the greatest artist, visual artist,
You have to make.
you
that
have
happen.
to make that happen. Like music is like on a cusp of that because
Music's still almost like the basketball.
it's still
game.
like
You
kind of like
still
it's
gotta
so many
fucking-
hands and stuff
Yeah.
that can dictate if you get those opportunities.
And there's
or
so
not.
many more people who do it like
right,
you do.
Right.
It might do it a little bit better,
So
or
Or
might
just
be
as well.
might be trash and just have a better agent than you.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Our timing, right place, right time. You know, so it's just one of them things, bro. Like it's something that I think that we should always talk about, man.
Also, shout out and prayers to Shasha Johnson, the Black Lives Matter activist who was recently shot in the head in London.
Oh shit! I didn't know
The
nothing
head
about
of
that.
one of the Black Lives chapters in the UK. She was
Damn.
just recently attacked and shot in the head.
God bless her.
And
man.
they're trying to say it wasn't racially motivated or anything like
Of course
that.
they are. Because, unfortunately, white supremacy is protected. The thing is, when the aliens come and ride on us,
A lot of y'all might die and niggas might be cool.
nah. What's going to matter, though?
Right.
My thing is, if an alien species come and start bombing on us right now, I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck what color you are. And you got shelter,
Yeah.
bro.
I'm taking it.
Like-
Either you let me in or niggas is
We was
taking
talking about
your
that
shit.
apocalyptic shit. Some apocalyptic shit happened, and half the society is men eating zombies.
Mhm.
Fam, I don't care if you're white or Catholic or Mormon or Republican.
We surviving.
I don't give a fuck if you don't like black people. You better open this goddamn door. I'll stay the fuck out of your hairs, man. But we're humans right now.
Right now, right.
We'll get back to that race shit later, but right now we can't do that. And that's just
It's
exactly
us
what would
versus
happen.
them,
Yeah,
bro.
bro. Like, but it's like, is that what has to happen?
Well, it's because it's crazy. It's like it's already us versus them, but they don't see it.
No, I know.
It needs to be like them almost getting eaten. Like, bro, okay, yeah, I get it now. Without y'all, it's fucked up. Like, we need each other, nigga.
Bro, we all need each other. Because you know what? I heard somebody say this. Racism is in our head. Biases are in our head. You could say, oh, I don't like Latinos. But if you had to have a rare heart surgery to survive, and they were like, don't worry, we're going to bring in the top doctor, one of the only doctors that can do this. And here comes a motherfucking nigga, the Latinoest Latino motherfucker come walking in to save your life. I doubt you're gonna be like, nah, go get me the white guy, or go get me the brother,
or let me die.
Or let me die. I can't do it. Fuck out of here.
Ain't nobody doing no stupid ass shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that.
You better get your little Latin ass over here and help me.
You look at him like look at him as God. Like, hey,
and I'm about to love the shit out your ass.
Right.
You're not getting rid of me, nigga, when you save me.
Right.
I'm popping up.
Right.
You know? And it's just like, look at men and women that now women, but look at men and women now that go off to war. Some of these people are very susceptible to being indoctrinated to different hates when they come home. But that's because America throws them away once they get back and abandons them and breaks all their promises, right? But these very men and women, bro, look at that Vietnam generation. That had a lot to do with racism and shit like that turning in this country, because a lot of them motherfuckers was segregated when they went to war, but when they came home, you couldn't break them up. Like, shit, I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for Larry. I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for Bobby. I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't. My father, up until he died, it's a group of them, dog, that survived, that was in the same platoon. These motherfuckers linked up with each other until death. White, black, Asian, Hispanic.
They all went through the same thing.
They all were 18-year-old boys thinking that they had dreams and goals and got drafted to Vietnam to fight in one of the most deadliest wars in American history.
That didn't have nothing to do with us.
Had nothing to do with them. They had nothing to gain from it.
Nope.
They weren't necessarily particularly wealthy when they came
home. But here's the other thing. That war was one of the dumbest wars because we had nothing to gain. Contrary to
think of a smart war.
Contrary to popular belief, we got our ass whipped.
I thought that was popular belief. I mean, shit, I don't know who the fuck thought that.
You had some people try to tell you that. No, we got our ass whipped in Vietnam.
Well, it's like Malcolm used to talk about. Guerrilla warfare is the warfare of the people.
Yep.
How you got all the technology and all the like technological advantages. But if we pop up out this mud while y'all's asses asleep, nigga, and knock off a whole platoon, if that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. If we got to dig underground tunnels that go all through this motherfucker, that's what we gonna do. Because that's what we got to do. We got to pop out the trees on you niggas and start chopping heads. That's what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat that war. Nope. If everybody in the country is against you, hey, you can't do that. If you got little kids willing to...
And they really finna die for that shit.
Yeah, you got little kids willing to
You
come
got
over
motherfuckers who weren't drafted into that.
Nah.
They chose.
And that's the thing,
That's
a
different warfare, nigga.
And with the American soldier, you're always going to have American soldiers that their number one goal,
is to get back home.
I would assume, is to get home.
Yep. And
this is no disrespect to our men and women in forces. Like, shit, I know that you all are heroic. I know that you all are great men and women and put your life on the line for shit like that.
Hey, you're better men and women than me.
But at the same time, it's just like, man, if you don't even know why you're over there sometimes, how can you have the same conviction of people that's willing to fight and die to get you out of their homeland?
You don't at all.
Right?
You're going to hesitate more than they would.
Or they're fighting for their, like, just simple, their own ability to exist. You know what I mean? It's just something to think about, fam. Like, we have to mature as a population.
That's gonna be a long time till we do that.
I don't know though, because it be certain shit that just little shit like crisscross applesauce. Man, I'm at the little daycare and shit. I'm like, oh, y'all gotta go sit Indian style, huh? Nigga, the whole fucking room looked at me like I was Hitler or somebody. I felt like a closed-minded idiot. Like, damn. Okay.
That's what we were fucking taught to call that.
That's what we was
And
taught
it
to call
isn't,
it.
and that's not even how you, that's very inappropriate.
And it had
And
nothing
that's
to do with
what
us.
we're taught to fucking say.
But I remember being a little kid thinking that was weird at one point in time. Like, well, I wonder why they call it Indian style. Not thinking that it was racist, but thinking it was definitely like, how'd they get to name it after them? Like, they was the first people to sit like this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you're just younger, you don't know no better. But people get indoctrinated in their own way, man. So, like, it goes back to that, like, the I would like to ask why. Like, why are you all trying to rewrite the history? Like, what do you lose from it? You know what I mean? What do you lose from it? I can't think of one racist black gang that's out there trying to kill white people to get back for what happened to us yet. So
Right.
what's the problem? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't get about it. That's how it just comes off as hateful. I seen someone in the comments say that, like, I'm German and I'm from Germany, and I can't imagine Germany not teaching what happened and their role in it.
Yeah.
Like, he said, I want that always to be taught so that we can remember, so that we can never repeat that shit.
America just don't give a fuck.
It's wild, man. It's wild. I was talking to my boy, young Dave, man. My boy Dave Feimster. He's an educator out of the Unified School District in Oakland. And one of the things he was telling me, he was like, King, man, it might be time for black athletes to start going to black colleges. I was
all for that.
Me and him used to talk about this for years.
Didn't Masterpiece say the same shit?
Well, yeah. But Shaq's son is one of the highest ranking players to go in a while, or at least the most notable players to go. One of his sons is going to a black college. Mikey Williams, the standout junior, sophomore in high school, who's one of the number one prospects, he had 3 black colleges on his top 5. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting recruited by everybody, Duke, North Carolina. He probably even go to the league or do what LaMelo did. He's that good. What gets me on that is there's a piece called the 1619 Project. I encourage everyone to check it out. I'm not even going to begin to speak about what it's about. We'll kind of come back on here and touch up on it again. We'll look at it, chop it up with each other amongst ourselves, and then we'll have a later discussion. It's called the 1619 Project. It's it might be trending on Twitter and other things like that. There's a lot of controversy coming around it because basically it's a very scholaristic, if I said that right, young woman who was a professor at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. And she's just been told that she's not going to be a tenured professor there, like she's deserving and like she had earned, because she did a project. She did this information piece called the 1619 Project. Congress is currently using this information, this source of data, as one of its resources to study to study the reparations program that they're trying to implement for ADOS African Americans, those that are descendants of, you know what I'm saying, American slavery. Because of this project, they're trying to devalue her education. She's highly educated. They're trying to devalue, and they're not basically honored. She's the only person that has accomplished what she's accomplished and is in line to get tenured that's not going to be tenured. I instantly thought about my boy Dave, because I said, North Carolina right now is using a jet to fly around the country in some of the worst neighborhoods in America
To go get niggas
to
to go
recruit
play
black
basketball.
boys to come play basketball, in which their basketball program in one season yields enough money and profit to take care of the cost of the entire school for a calendar year. And they don't get paid. I thought to myself, if she was at Howard University, And she was at Fisk, Tuskegee, Clark Atlanta University, and she made this great discovery, and she created this great think piece called the 1619 Project that truly and honestly looked at the slave trade, who was responsible, what parties gained, et cetera, et cetera. Would she be silenced in this way? Would she lose her tenureship? Of course not. But while we're saying this, in a state like Georgia, where every political member of the Republican Party and some of the Democratic Party is literally actively trying to make sure that people that look like us right here can't vote, the whole goddamn football team and basketball team at the University of Georgia that's yielding millions and millions of dollars is full of black kids. I'm calling on the parents. If your kid can run a 4.4, that don't mean he has to go to Alabama. And it don't mean he ain't going to the NFL if he don't go to Alabama. That's why I like what Prime is doing over there. You know what I'm saying? Go send your kid to Dion.
Yep.
Send your kid to Howard, where the universities and shit actually give a fuck about them. Well, they'll meet professors that look at them as a son, a daughter, or a niece, or a nephew, versus just some kid that's lucky to be there because he could play basketball or football. You know what I mean? They got our kids at the University of Clemson and shit like that making billions of dollars in revenue, but having to check in at a fucking field house named after a slave owner. And then complaining when they complain about it. It's too much, bro. It's too much, and we've all been indoctrinated in that shit some way.
Collegiate sports and college just in general is bullshit. Like,
Yeah, fam.
the politics and all that shit is just bullshit. It's not built. It's not built for anybody to win. It's just built for the college and the state and the country to get paid off us and student loans and all that shit. And it's even more worse for fucking African American athletes who's instantly looked at as a dollar sign and all the money that they're gonna generate in revenue. Motherfuckers didn't look at Zion as a son and a friend and a brother. They looked at Zion as, nigga, we're selling out every game to where niggas is scalping tickets.
They just said, nigga, the feds just said Adidas, nigga, it was depositing hundreds of thousands of dollars into Zion's mom's account to get him to go to Duke. So, allegedly, right? So, what we're talking about is a big money scheme. How is it that these little black boys and girls are generating millions and billions of dollars in revenue in their communities and their livelihoods and their parents' families, shit like that, ain't being reflected in that. Right? Because even if it was like baseball, where it's just like, the average kid that can play and is good will make some money off it. You're not going to make A-Rod money, but you can go take care of yourself and perfect your skill set and do these things. You know, you don't have to live in poverty while you perfect this. They own LeVar, man. I think what they trying to do, mark my words, the reason why they jumping into this G League shit is they want all the top players to go to the G League now. Because if your ass go to the G League, watch in the next 5-10 years, you're going to be stuck in the G League, just like motherfuckers in AAA. And they going to cap your ass off at about a couple $100,000 while you still generate millions and billions of dollars, and it's going to be a cat call for you to come up to the NBA, no matter how good you are. They're not making an NBA African League for no reason.
Right.
That serves as to replace your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we get these niggas, we don't even need you no more. So it's just something to think about. I heard Larry Johnson, the great Larry Johnson, say a long time ago, they stopped doing interviews with him after that too. It was during the lockout, and they was asking his thoughts on it. LJ said, we need our own league. That was the last time they asked LJ a question about any of that shit.
They said, "Well, hear none of that shit. You
Brooklyn
talking all that dumbass? Don't talk that shit right here.
Like, nah,
don't talk none of that. That's
nigga.
not what we asked you
not
for,
what we came
nigga.
to you for, LJ. Grandma,
Relax.
you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things, man. Like, it's not about racism,
right?
Because just because there's a black-owned league or a league with majority black owners don't mean that white kids can't play. Don't mean that white men can't get a job. And black people have shown that when they get deference, they hire other people. That's that's fact. So with that being said, it's some things that needs to, community wise, and I'm not just saying black community, I mean non-racist community. You know what I mean? Non-racist community. What we gonna do about it? Because I need to see non-black people be outraged as black people are, that a group of white men and white women are trying to rewrite and erase our history as we speak to you today. I need to see. I need to sit back and see. Don't go march for George Floyd and Black Lives Matter if your ass is not offended that they're trying to stop teaching what happened to black people. You know what I mean? It goes back to that. The 1619 Project. Go check it out. Let's dive into it. Everybody, let's check it out. And, hit us up, man. Hit us up in the inbox, comments, post on our page, man. What do you think about it? What's your thoughts? Etc., man. Let's create a little dialogue about it. And lastly, do we need to start putting pressure on these young athletes and shit that's now going to North Carolina? Unfortunately.
Yeah, we gotta just stop making it cool to go to these white colleges.
Like, I'm just saying, bro, like, North Carolina right now is depending, they got billions of dollars depending on little black boys.
Yep.
That come from neighborhoods where they're starving and they're dodging bullets and police brutality. And now, you don't even want that to be taught. You don't even want a part of their struggle to be taught. You can't know how great Muhammad Ali or Bill Russell was if you're not talking about what they went through.
Right.
What the fuck good is Jackie Robinson's story if you stop teaching about the racism he experienced? Yep. He's just a guy that played baseball then. And he
was just the first black man.
Yeah, he's all right. He just all right. He just not, come on, man. And I really want to see that because I'm all for to stop Asian hate. Yeah. I'm all for LGBTQ lives matter. I'm all for Black Lives Matter. And shit, I prayed for Syria. I prayed for Paris.
Pray for Palestine.
Pray for Palestine.
And pray for Israel.
Pray for Israel.
Just not the government.
I need people. Hey, bro, I'm calling on my friends, man, my loved ones in other communities. This shit ain't right. It's not right at all, man. And we got to figure out as a society, man, what we going to do and when is enough is enough. You tired of hearing us talk about the shit? Help us eradicate it.
Right.
We're not excuse-making people. But imagine, if you need to, imagine this was the Holocaust and we were Jewish people and they're saying, oh, we want to stop teaching that. What happened in the transatlantic slave trade has more bearings on American society today than anything that happened in Germany.
Right.
And that's a fact.
But we read
it doesn't mean it's more or less important.
Motherfuckers read the Diary of Anne Frank like every year.
Right. Right. You know what I mean?
What we got next up there, man?
Let me twirl this right.
And that's another episode of the Always Talking Shit Show. I am your host, Doc Andre.
All right. So, what's her name, man? Fuck. Margie Taylor?
Never heard of her.
You know, the radical ass Republican lady that got silenced, that was saying that, I don't know, like Jerusalem, like saying that Israel has lasers going to the moon and all that other weird shit. Mm-hmm. Marjorie Taylor, like Greene, you never heard of her?
No.
She's a Trumper.
She sounds like it.
She just came out, man, and said some other wild shit comparing having to wear mask with having to wear a gold star, like if you were a Jewish person during the Hitler regime, the Nazi regime. She compared it, and she doubled down on her comments, and she said that if you can't see the comparisons, basically the problem you're the one with the problem. But this is a free country, and she shouldn't have to do that.
I don't see the comparisons.
No one with fucking common sense sees the comparisons.
That shit don't make no fucking sense.
And nobody's
to me.
asking you to ever dare see the comparisons.
I swear to God, I have a headache by the end of that.
But
nigga.
she's just that. She ran up on AOC. She's the girl that ran up on AOC.
Oh.
Right. So she's just like a camera.
AOC's from New York, right?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers better quit running up on AOC like she'll beat your ass.
That is a Latin chick from uptown. Like, bro, she's lucky that AOC is just like the female Barack Obama.
Right,
like she's highly intelligent and like
AOC looked like
she'd
whoop your
motherfucking
ass.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think AOC probably would put them paws on you, nigga, if it came down to it. Like, you might want to leave her alone.
AOC looked like that mama took off the chunk.
And the thing is, too, though, well, you got to be careful. She got family and friends, too, nigga. Like, you know how that is.
Yeah.
Fam.
They coming.
Fam, you can only tell dialect so much. If he decides he's taking up for you, he's taking up for you. Fuck you gonna tell him?
It's the same for me.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I use that example. Like, fam, I tell my sisters and family all the time, like, you don't get to determine.
Yeah, you can't. My reaction.
What I'm willing to do in my attempt to defend or protect you.
Right.
You don't get to determine that at all.
You don't get to tell me what I can. What's the?
I understand. You don't want me to beat your boyfriend up.
But I'm gonna fucking kill this dude.
This nigga getting stabbed in the neck over some shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so.
You was ready to beat up your sister's wife over Ariva, nigga.
Hey, my nigga. Like, that's. What do you mean?
You was ready to
my sister.
Shit. He's ready to.
Fam. Like, hey, what's going on?
But you just said it. Like, you can't tell me how I defend you.
You don't get to determine that. It's like the girl with the dad. Like, bro, you got a daughter. She get older, she dating, and a dude do something out of line. She might be fine. She might be like, you know what, Dad, he's a loser, whatever. I'm just gonna go.
Okay, here's the thing.
But she don't get to determine if we decide.
That's what I said.
We about to. No. That's cool, baby girl. Lay down. Go have a.
This is where there's levels to this. She can't determine what I'm finna do,
my nigga,
and she can't determine what you finna
Uncle
do.
Uncle Keem has his own opinion,
right?
And his own say so. Like, okay, well, nigga, like you did that to my niece. Okay, well,
now I gotta do this to you, nigga.
Don't worry, this ain't got nothing to do with her.
Right? This is
fam. This ain't. She don't even know that I'm coming over here. Hey, and I would like you to keep it that way. But I understand if you can't. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm gonna have to.
But you're getting these paws put on you, young man. Some shit can't be explained away. Right. And so, it's just. The funny thing is, fam, as I get older, I'll be like, man, these politics, this shit be kind of lit, because I'm like, man, these cats really just people. You know how you get older and you realize your mom is just a lady and your dad was just a guy? Because when you got these expectations of adults when you're a kid, like, they know so much and they just so smart and they just got all this shit figured out and they're so.
Until you realize,
figuring
all this shit
they still rolling the dice like you is right now. Like, yo, what's up, youngster? Like, now you get it,
right?
It's like The Secret and shit. Like, cause I wish a motherfucker would have told me like, yo, all this shit you doing in high school and half the shit you trying to study in college.
Dead. This ain't gonna mean nothing. Cause sky's the limit to a person that's willing to accept what they don't know and to teach themselves or to learn from other people. Yeah, that's just you can't determine what my reaction gonna be, nigga. And people think that. I just think because I've always had sisters, I've always paid attention to that when I dealt with women. Because a nigga would if the girl he was with thought it was cool, like, all right, you did that, whatever, all right, it's over with. With her. Don't let her brother find out. It's over with you and her, nigga. Facts. Facts. That's where this ended. This didn't end between you and her dad. I knew these niggas growing up, and I'm not gonna call their name, but I knew these niggas growing up. It was three. They had 3 brothers and a sister. Oh shit. Two young. The younger brothers, the middle brother, and the sister. We were all close in age. Fam. They was close, you know what I mean? Brothers wasn't even on that rah-rah shit. Somebody put hands on Somebody fucked with the sister. I don't even remember exactly what it was. But they fucked with the sister. They did something disrespectful to the sister. She tried everything she could to not let her brothers know. Because she knew. Fam. They fucked him. Her brothers found out. Fucked him all the way. Younger brother found out first. Oh, did he get all individual ass whoopings? This nigga got 3 different ass whoopings. Damn! That's fucked. I was probably like 12, 13, fam. I remember it was right before I moved. I remember thinking to myself like. 3 consecutives? Yeah, well.
2 in one day, and then the next day, the older brother pulled up.
So
like,
they just start catching you.
I'm gonna tell you something. The younger brother finds out. Now, mind is the dude is like a year or two older than the younger brother.
Yeah, but he don't. Get
So he could have basically been like, "Oh, I'm telling my big brother we gonna." He ain't no.
He ain't give a fuck about none of that.
No, you did that. You what to my sister?
I'm beating your ass, and if I
got off
happen
on him.
to lose,
No, he got off on
Yeah.
him. Because sometimes I'm a firm believer, bro. When you're right, you're winning.
yeah, right,
When you're right, you're gonna win, bro.
right.
And he got off on him. He was like, boom, boom, boom. Well, probably like a few hours throughout the day and shit like that. The other brother found out. Other brother found out. He's looking for him. Like, nigga, where this nigga at, bro? Put hands on him. This time it was like a little severe. Like, nigga, he's fucked up.
He got beat up.
Beat up.
Okay.
Fam, I'll never
Next
forget,
day.
like, the next day. I remember I transferred and moved, like, a week or two after this. I knew I was moving.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, sitting there with my man. We was talking and shit, like, and he's like, bro, that nigga don't even go to school here. And I looked, and there was his older brother from high school, nigga, pulled up, junior high, in the quad. Like, this nigga done walked past security and shit. Nigga, like, hey, man. You know who I am? And I remember that nigga was just like, nah. And he was just like,
his ass.
nigga, I'm brother, nigga.
Oh.
Pap. Got on him like 3-4 times before the security realized, like, and then when they pulled it up and broke it up, they was having a hard time getting, and then they realized, like, oh, you don't even go to school here? Like, you ain't even, you know what I'm saying? And I remember looking at that kid while he laid there bleeding, thinking to myself, hey, bro, respect people's family. Keep your hands to yourself.
Right, yeah, because you don't know what their family members are willing
Keep
to
your
do.
hands to yourself. Because I know when he did what he did, he
was
did not foresee
expecting
that,
3
nigga.
ass
You did not
whoopings, bro.
think that girl had 3 and what it was is she tried to save you, bro. She was mad at her brothers. Like, stop, no. Like, it's okay. Like, nah, nigga.
Nope.
Well, I learned then, because I remember thinking, like, bro, that's fucked up. She's not even, like, mad at him.
It don't matter. They're mad at him.
Bro, I remember a nigga next to me was like, oh, that don't matter.
They're mad at him.
Nigga, that's their little sister, nigga. Like, you don't get to tell a nigga how to, like, respond to his little sister being assaulted or insulted or disrespected.
Because like, that's the same thing as like, okay, your chick getting jumped by a few females.
Oh, yeah.
What you finna do?
The bitches is getting knocked out.
Coming out of left field. And like you said, just because she didn't want me to do it,
Fam.
does not mean I'm going to let you just beat my chick up. Nigga, I'm finna...
tell
Somebody
you right
get
now.
mollywopped, nigga.
That's exactly it. And that's the thing, bro. I've seen that. I've seen dudes be with their girl and some other girls try to roll up on her thinking that shit was sweet, like that written rule that, oh, nigga, they gonna let us jump his girl.
No, they're not.
Because we're girls.
Yeah, no, I'm finna
Man, I
beat...
seen this dude sliding all type of bitches, and I was like, man, I
can't
can't
be
be
mad
mad
at
at
him.
him. Y'all leave that girl alone while
You
she
ain't
with a
finna-
grown-ass
yeah, you
man
ain't
that's
finna-
willing to fight y'all
Yeah,
over
you
her.
ain't finna
Like,
lump my chick up and
fam,
beat the shit out of
I
her
gotta
while
live
I'm
with
standing.
her. What if we got a kid together? My kid's looking at mommy all fucked up, and my son look at me like, Dad, you was with her?
Let that happen.
Like, Dad, you let them get off on my mom like that? Come on,
Your
man.
niggas gonna talk bad to you. Your niggas gonna be talking
Like, damn,
bad.
fam, what you do?
Like, you let sis...
Like, I
you
see
let
sis
that happen?
over here lumped up. Nigga, what happened? Where was you at?
Yeah,
Like-
that's exactly what they gonna say.
When
Yo,
you was at the store? And this one, nah, you know, I ain't want to jump in. Ladies.
you old bitch-ass nigga. You a...
Because you could at least, worst case scenario,
Slung
they not
them.
supposed to hit her.
Just...
You just got to sling bitches off of her
Yeah.
and let them know, like, all right, not today. Y'all ain't getting her today.
Because if I gotta do... I slung you this time. If I gotta touch you again, bitch, I'm
Bros.
breaking something.
I'm not even going to lie, man. I've been, dead ass story. I'm walking home from when I worked for the Obama campaign.
When you still in Reno?
It's been 7 years. Look, I'm walking home from the, we didn't drive. Like, we would, like, carpool in this minivan. So I remember, they were like, I'm walking home from the store, that corner store right by the building.
Mm-hmm.
My car's in the parking lot, and I remember thinking, I'm trying to gauge, don't be lazy, King.
Go just walk there.
You know the distance.
Yeah. It ain't far at all.
I'm like,
Get in your car would be the dumbest shit you could
right.
do.
But it was kind of cold, so I was like,
okay, it makes a difference.
don't do it, King. Like, nigga, you can just walk to the store. Fam, I see my oldest sister, man. Shout out to you, love. I'm going to just be real. It's a different time in your life. I see my older sister, like, fighting with this dude. It's like a grown-ass white dude. Like, Fam, you know what happens, man. Like a long story short, man, yeah, bro. I go in there, go 5150.
Right.
Turn out my sister's all the way wrong.
But there's like ain't no time to talk
Fam,
about that.
right? Like,
ain't no time for
like
discussion.
it's all
I'm
the way my
beating
sister's
your
fault,
ass,
bro.
nigga.
Like my sister's wrong as a motherfucker.
And then
all
I'm
the
feel
way
bad.
wrong.
And then I'm gonna feel bad
Like,
after I whooped your
I
ass.
felt
Like,
horrible.
damn.
I felt horrible, bro. Like,
So she kind of earned that.
cursed my sister out. Like, man, what are you doing, sis? And the thing is, like, she get on me. Like, nigga, what is you doing? Like, nigga, I'm your big sister. Like, nigga, mind your business. I didn't ask you for no help, nigga. I ain't need you, nigga. Like, where you come from? Like, nigga, you know, it's some wild shit, bro. Like, so that's just a lesson I learned from that, man. You don't get to tell people that love people how to react when you hurt them. So your best bet is, man, don't go around hurting people.
Cause one of the niggas might shoot your ass. Ain't no coming back from that, nigga.
Fam, I think they was in Chicago, D.C., or New York. I know that sounds wild because I just named hella places. But Chicago, D.C., or New York. Black kid, hella articulate, debate club, played ball, was on his way to college and shit. Was like on a little spoken word, a little thing, did his thing. Meets like a Middle Eastern girl, right? Her parents, nigga, real strict, you know. Right. Turns out her dad was a part of the Osama bin Laden terrorist cell. Yeah, the family. But the family, let me tell you how ill this shit is, B. The family's under surveillance because the girl starts dating a black dude and listening to hip-hop music and shit and getting in her spoken word bag. She's an honor roll student, too. You think the parents like that shit?
Nah, nigga.
So what they do is they sick the brother on her. Customary. You need to bring your sister in, nigga. The brother is disciplining her. Mm-hmm. So the brother's like, you know, you're forbidden to speak to this dude. I don't want you to do none of this music, none of this shit. We ain't here on no American shit. We just here holding our shit down. Now, right. I'm not sure if these kids knew that what their dad was into, but the dad was really working for, like, the Taliban.
Right.
Man, the brother kills his sister. She about to go off to college. She in her American bag. Like, nigga, I'm about to go off to college. Like, nigga, I can date who I want to date. I'm in love. Knock the sister head off. The U.S. government listens to this shit and knows it because it's all under surveillance, but they don't want to
do nothing about it.
They don't want to ruin that.
They're surveillance of the terrorists. So,
dude had a friend that was from the Middle East, and he told him, like, yo, you got to stop seeing her. This is serious. You're gonna get her killed. Well, he's American.
He doesn't get it.
He's American, so you know what do I say, bro, Dre? You gotta leave Shorty alone, man. You gonna get Shorty killed. That don't necessarily mean literally death, nigga. Like that just means like she gonna go through a lot of shit. Her her parents gonna be tripping on her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like her boyfriend might beat her up when he finds out you messing with her or something. Like little shit like that. You don't necessarily think that, oh, okay, you're gonna get knocked off. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's how he took it. And shit.
She got knocked off.
Knocked her off. Fucked up, right? And the U.S. government the whole time knew. Like, one of the agents that was talking about it was just like, yeah, man, like, getting those orders to stand down. When we're listening to this girl get tortured and plead for her life and beg that shit.
Knock that whole door down and kill everybody in the building.
Nigga, or at least stop it.
Right.
Or at least stop it. Like, but that's what happened.
I'd have had to get fired that day.
Fam, I'm getting fired.
Because I'm going to the house, nigga.
Bro, we right here.
Are you gonna hear on the
we in a
side?
minivan right around the corner, fam. Like,
are you gonna hear when that door opens?
Like, relax, bro. Relax.
I'm dumping, nigga.
And it was fucked up because the mom, she didn't want her daughter to get killed. But that was the customary shit, nigga. It was like, nigga, what you gonna do?
Well, we can't
get
do
your
shit.
ass knocked off too.
Right.
And shut the fuck up about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd have got fired.
So
I'd have went in there.
Bro. Who you telling? Like, we some fucked up creatures, bro.
Yeah.
We some fucked up peoples, man. Like humans in general. We be doing some foul shit. We have a customary thing about us that, like, especially here in America, we like to speak on shit we have no ideas about. Mm-hmm. And like, there's how many advocates have you ever met that advocate for something, and when you get to speaking to them, they don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Well, let's talk about the new age feminists.
Hey, fam, can I say this on behalf of all the smart women and men in the world? Fuck those new age feminists. You know what I mean? They're just as bad as the so-called new age internet revolutionaries. You know what I'm saying? That don't want my nigga Talkin to do the show with me because he can't even be alive.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? That type
I'm an
shit.
abomination, nigga.
My nigga's in a whole abomination next to me. Who knew? You know what I'm saying? I wonder what that makes me. Like, you know what I mean?
Nah, you're supreme because you're 100%.
Stupid.
I'm beneath you as a half black man.
And the day that black men start thinking and speaking like that is the day that black women and men and children and babies are rolling in their fucking grave.
Mm-hmm. That's the day
Hey, you think our ancestors on that slave dock was fighting over who was lighter in skin complexion or not? You think they was doing that? Like, that shit is wild to me. Now, jokes is jokes. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing like a good light-skinned, dark-skinned nigga
that
joke.
That nigga was not joking.
I know that.
Oh.
Remember, I came in here.
I'm going to keep this 100.
Remember, I came in here
I'm
going
to keep this 100. I don't like light-skinned jokes. Because I don't make dark-skinned jokes. I don't feel like it's funny.
If that's your stance on it,
I'm
I
not
feel
entertained.
If that's your stance on it,
I
I
hate
feel
when
that.
something soft happens. Like, that's some light-skinned shit. I ain't soft,
Well,
nigga. I'll smack the shit out you, nigga.
Well, nigga, but you gotta just be. Let me speak to you on that. What I like to say about that shit, I don't like that term, and I don't equate softness with light skin either. And the reason why is because you show me a Negro harder than Malcolm X. Mm-hmm. You show me a Negro harder than Huey P. Newton. Mm-hmm. Hey man, you show me a black woman harder than my mother.
Right.
You understand that? Like, I feel you on that. That's annoying. What I mean, nigga, is like when you see the memes and be like, and it'd be Prince doing some wild shit, nigga, on stage. And
that's
like,
different.
And it'd be like, this how light skinned niggas
different.
pee. Or it'd be like, I seen one nigga was this dark skinned nigga, and like the way this nigga was getting in the tub, it was like how dark skinned niggas get in the tub.
No,
that's
different.
That's what I meant.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't mean like, you know what I'm saying? Because I know niggas that grew up in their family getting treated a certain way because they're the lightest person in their family. Like, as if they not struggling and going through the same bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen niggas go through shit because they're the darkest nigga in their family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that colorism shit is dangerous, but in perspective, it is funny. And that's just black people being black people. We're funny like that. We make fun of shit like that. Right. I don't really be hearing, there's blonde and brunette jokes and shit like that. Like, but I don't know if like blonde. I don't know. I've never asked a brunette girl does she feel inferior to blonde women, because it's for a long time, nigga. If the bitch was pretty on TV, she was a skinny ass blonde bitch.
Ew, do you remember when having no ass was a thing? When bitches
for them
was
like
working their ass off.
Yeah, but when they were saying Tyra Banks and Janet Jackson was fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember all that.
And now it's like,
come on,
they get paying for this shit.
They
now.
got plus size Victoria's Secret models, nigga. This shit is crazy.
The white women are paying for this shit.
And you know who's a fucking prophet? Ludacris. Remember that nigga said for the new phenomenon, like white chicks with ass. Mm-hmm. And when he said it, it was just like,
no, it ain't.
I know a couple chicks with some ass.
And then we just started.
And then all of a sudden it was like,
oh, where's he from?
Right, right, dog.
We're not from there.
Right.
We don't get to see all the Georgia peaches
and shit. Nigga, like,
it ain't like every white bitch like, God damn.
Fam, every girl I know that's moved down south, like, ends up getting like a
super thick, huh?
Yeah.
It's like something in the water.
I got an ex down there, nigga. She's always been teeny meeny, and she be like, yeah, I'm getting thicker, y'all. Like, skinny bitches got it hard in the south, nigga.
Have
like,
you feeling some type of
way?
They
be feeling some type of way. Like, they taking weight gainers and shit. Yeah, like.
You be like, bitch, you wasn't like that when I had you, bitch. Because remember, when ass started popping up on white girls, we was like, oh my God.
Hey, but the thing is, though, I'm looking at some females that were petite beauties, slim thicks. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so you rather, like, gain a gut just so your ass is bigger? Just so, like, niggas could be like, little mama, you thick? Right. Because this niggas in the South, I know my niggas in the South, I got cousins, they're not fucking with a bitch that's not thick.
Not at all.
What do you mean? Yeah, that man, she too skinny, cuzzo. The bitch gonna look
She's
like
sick.
the bitch gonna look like Aaliyah.
They
and
gonna
they
be like, she's sick,
Yeah,
nigga.
man, she need to eat, bro. I can't fuck with her. I'm like, it's really like that.
Yeah.
On this West Coast, you know, we diet and motherfuckers
on the West Coast now. It's just it's the whole spectrum. We fuck with it all.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I've always had a thing for petite women.
With some cake.
Right, slim thicks. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, hey, bro, I just like the creation of women. I think God was on his shit and was proving his supreme powers when he made women. That's all. Like, I can be in love with a girl that's skinny. I can be in love with a girl that's tall, short. I can be in love with a girl that's
I'm
thick.
gonna keep this a million with you. You could be all that and have fucked up feet, and I don't like you. Something that simple.
I'm gonna have to see your feet a lot.
Yeah.
That's a hard
Them
thing to
shits
get over.
gonna touch me.
Fam,
And what if you like to wear open toes?
what if you had a hard day and you just want a man to rub your shit? What if you did something? What if you pregnant with my child and your feet swollen all? You know what I'm saying? And it's just the right thing to do.
And you just got them eagle's claws.
And you got dogs down there. Hey man, what is superficial? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's superficial.
well, this is the thing
I
though.
ain't even gonna
Hey,
lie.
this is the thing though. Hey, all right. Hey, this is what I
But
learned.
that's how I feel.
Can I be honest?
Wait,
This is what I learned.
before
I was
do this-
superficial.
Before I do this for you, let me tell you how superficial I am. Most men look at what when they look at a female?
So I don't know. Ass.
The face or the ass or
Oh,
something,
yeah,
right?
right.
I look at your shoes.
Okay. I watched that movie Shallow Hal
Mm-hmm.
and was pissed off. Like I felt like my
shit.
nigga took an L, and it wasn't until my friend was like, "Bro, that's the whole point of the movie, nigga. He's not shallow no more. He fell in love with the girl because he loves her." I'm like, man, that shit is whack, dog. The skinny bitch was way better. Like, and she was on him.
On
like
him.
my dumb ass at the time was just like, nigga, this movie's whack, nigga. He didn't even get the girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that shit.
But here's my, like I said,
But then
like,
it was just like, as I got older, I realized, like,
nah,
man,
I'm superficial. I'm
Hey.
gonna look at your feet and shoes first.
well, this is the thing.
Like, you could be bad
We're
as fuck.
sneakerheads.
You could
Niggas
be-
like sneakers and shit.
No, I'm talking about heels. You can be bad as fuck, but if your shit doing this over the heel, you go from a 10 to a 2.
Fashion matters, bro. Hey, and this is what I'm talking about when I say this. Like, if it matters to you, bro, it matters. Think about it. If it matters to you, it matters, bro.
I ain't gonna cap because I like feet. I touch feet. You know what I'm saying? I like to rub
Right.
feet. Feet. You know what I'm saying?
You're a feet dude.
You know what I'm saying? I like feet.
So
I
obviously
like
you would
feet
want
arched when you smacking something.
right.
They
Obviously
look
you
cute, know what I'm
obviously
saying?
you want like attracted feet. Like that's
But
the
you
thing.
can't. You can't be the bad bitch and boomerang with the fucked up toes. How you got all this to the ankles taken care of, but
Hey,
from
bro.
the ankle down?
Because that's the one thing you can't control. Bitch, you can't make your feet look good. If you was born with some ugly feet, I know girls that are bad that will tell you they're like, "Oh, my feet are ugly," and their feet aren't even like ugly like
I
that.
feel bad for the motherfuckers. Who
But
got
in
that.
their opinion, they might be like, "Oh, I don't like my feet."
I feel bad for everybody that got that bunion.
Nigga, I feel bad for anybody because at first, nigga, the shit's gonna hurt.
Until the callus.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
just got that bump on the side of your shit.
And I mean, if you play sports long enough, you're gonna get that. If you're a woman that like, depending on certain professions, you're gonna get that. Like, you can't date a dancer
And you know what?
if you don't like that. Like, they gonna have.
you know, I be having talking about like bitches in profession. I have hard problem with some of these nurses.
What do you mean?
They be so just done up and bad with their nails. Did you be in there
Fuck
vulnerable?
problem,
Like,
I said, fuck problem you got? Cause when I was just in the hospital, boy, I remember
I
I
just
was
hate
like,
being vulnerable
damn.
when.
I think I tweeted that shit. I was like, damn, I'm on the shift with all the baddies.
I don't like
It
being
was like-
vulnerable.
it was like 20
'Cause
bad nurses
what
in
if,
there.
What if you in there for something crazy that's memorable, right? Like some super crazy hemorrhoid remover or some shit, right? And you see him at the club or something later.
That's
You-
perfect.
You want to say?
I'm gonna tell you why
something?
that's perfect. Have you noticed? You go to the dentist hygienist. She's beautiful usually. She's an attractive girl.
That's different.
No,
though.
no, it's not. You go to motherfucking to the doctor and shit, and all these nurses in there are attractive, beautiful women. That's who you want. Look, They're in the medical field, bro. The shit that you think is embarrassing ain't nothing to them. Like, nigga, they'll nurse you back
First time
up.
she met you, your ass was in the air getting cut open.
Nigga, and then the next time you seen her, nigga, you was digging her shit out from the back because she know that your ass is clean and taken care of. I'm just saying how women, how nurses is gonna look at it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like later on down the road, y'all gonna be in a relationship, nigga, telling the story how yo man, and she gonna be talking shit to you like, nigga, that's why your ass was up with the hemorrhoids, nigga.
I don't think so, bro. All the nurses I be around, they're extremely mature when it comes to that type of shit.
No, I'm talking about like if y'all was in a relationship down the road and y'all was just joking at the crib, she might hit you with that one day, like, nigga, that's why your ass was in there getting cut open, nigga. You be like, man, fuck you, bitch.
Your ass was in the air getting cut open though.
But you still be like, man, fuck you. Because there ain't no rebuttal for that. If you one of them ones where you like, man, fuck you, dog. Leave me alone, bitch.
It is a rebuttal for that. Especially if y'all live together. Like, oh, bitch, I seen them drawers, nigga, in the bathroom, nigga, that look like they got fucked up, nigga. I don't want to hear that shit. Well, what are you talking about? Nigga, like, I seen your drawers with discharge in them, nigga. What do you mean?
Oh, you out of pocket.
Well, I mean, what line we going, nigga?
Yeah, we taking low
If we
blows.
crossing the
we
line,
going there.
what you talking about, nigga?
You talking about my ass in there,
You
bitch.
mean
We
you
going
bleed once
there.
a month? I got some stories. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's why I was saying it like
Don't
that.
come for me.
Like, you know I'm sensitive about it.
Right, don't come for me, bitch. I'm gonna come for you.
Oh, I don't want to hear that shit.
Bitch, that's why you got big feet. Shut the fuck up. So you start just hammering.
Hey, man. Your boy CTG, man.
Who?
CTG.
Who the fuck? Oh. Charlamagne. Why am I? That's your nigga.
Nah, nigga,
You
that's
know
your
I
boy.
don't
That's
really
your
like
mans.
that nigga.
So, look. I don't know the nigga. I'm just saying. So, you've been out the loop, nigga. Have you heard any of the shit that's going on with this nigga?
I heard the Kwabi Brown shit when he apologized to Kwabi. Got the cease
See, I
and
ain't hear the
desist.
apology.
He got a cease and desist on him.
Because Kwame
I heard somebody.
Kwame kicked up some shit that niggas didn't know about.
I heard
Charlie.
niggas is talking about his alleged sexual assault case.
But it's a new one. It's not a new one in the sense that it's a new case.
It's new that we're hearing about it.
It was one of the ones that kind of maybe got swept under the rug a little bit. And in fairness to him, to be fair about it, like, I'm not saying that he did or didn't do anything.
Allegedly.
I'm not saying that he had anything to do with it being swept under. It could be just the public just missing it.
Right.
It's one of two things. You're either very sick and in the way you handle this and sociopathic and narcissistic, or you just didn't do anything. And so when you call out other people for being nasty, nigga, you just being genuine and saying, oh, nigga, you nasty. Right?
Right.
Some of the energy I heard was a lot of that. Like, even with Benzino in particular, when he was on, shout out to Queen's Flip, when he was on Queen's Flip channel, he was saying that, like, man, this motherfucker nasty. He be talking about everybody else, trying to get everybody canceled. That was his energy. Like, you throwing rocks in a glass house type shit. The thing is, they're saying allegedly, you know, it's a 15-year-old that he had intercourse with allegedly. And allegedly. And her parents allegedly didn't want her to relive it on the stand. So by not putting it on the stand, the case was weak. And that shit got knocked out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he can't be retried.
Right.
So she just, like, you know, of course, the mother's scorned about it. She's upset, you know, and
Well,
they
if
off.
that happened allegedly, that's your own fucking fault for not putting your daughter on the stand. Like, don't be mad years later.
But
I get you're trying to save her from what she had to go through, but it's like you can't now get mad years later.
And this, well, this is the thing.
I mean, you can be mad. Let's say, okay, you can be mad.
Okay, let me say
but you
this.
can't do
No, let
nothing
me say
about
this.
it.
Let me say this. When I speak to people and I be like, yo, there's this person, like, you know, like the judge that, you know, threw us the shirts.
Right.
Like, you got Judge Gandy out there. She was a prosecutor. She was a prosecutor that was personable. She was a prosecutor that would sit you down and say, yo, I know you don't want your daughter to relive this, but she lived this.
She needs to.
She's reliving this every day.
Yep.
She's reliving this in therapy. This is the process in getting her justice. That wasn't adequately explained
No.
to her.
That's real.
And that's why she's feeling upset. And that's why I said, some of her, and let's say Charlamagne didn't do the shit.
Right.
But let's say this is what she thinks. And it wasn't explained to her. And then this happened.
Yep.
So now you could be innocent and that venom and that hurt still be there.
Right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying is that, like, I'm not here to say Charlamagne is guilty. I'm not here to say that he's not guilty. But what I'm here to say is that, like the lack of understanding, most people don't know shit about the law until they deal with it.
Right.
You know, I don't know what we can do in society to make this better.
Just we gotta verse ourselves on fucking laws and shit. We should be doing that anyway with the way they be trying to put us under the jail.
The other girl that everybody knew about that was a little older, that she went to a party. Now, I used to throw parties. You used to throw parties. You know this. I used to throw parties, bro. Now, shorty, this is the thing. Allegedly, Charlamagne, working at the radio station, he's 22. She's like 17, 15, 16, 17, something like that.
Right.
He tells her parent, allegedly, oh, no, yeah, she can come, man. She good. I got her. She going to be straight. She goes to that party. She allegedly drinks some shit that's been spiked. It's a cracking-ass party.
Right.
It's a lot of people there, right? I'm not sure Charlamagne was just looking out for her. Mm-hmm. She at the party. You want to get here? I got you in. I don't know if she got gang raped. I don't know if she got flipped. If we keeping it real. I don't know if she got flipped and woke up regretting it.
Feel it, yeah.
And was like, here, it's your fault.
Yep.
I really came here because I liked you.
Right.
You shook me when I got here and was with that other girl, and next thing I know, this happened. I don't know. Nobody knows. But I know that in the rape kit, Charlamagne the God, his DNA wasn't there.
Right. So that let you, I mean, condom could have been used, but it's all alleged. We don't know.
But when it comes to these type of things, right?
This shit is dangerous, man.
Fam, remember that game I'll be telling you I play? And I'll be like, yo, Dre, remember that time we in a crowd full of people that don't know you. They barely know you. And I'm like, yo, it's my nigga Talkin, man, from up north, woo, woo, woo. And now we kicking it and everybody chilling. I'm like, yo, Talkin, remember that time we had a threesome with those midgets? And everybody start laughing like, what? Like, and I say that because why? You're gonna start. Hold on, wait. Let me finish. Let me finish.
That's a fucked up
You're
scenario
gonna start
with me.
But I'm just saying, you're gonna start denying it. Allegedly, I'm just saying, like, just follow the story. You start denying it because it didn't happen. Not because nothing about me. It just didn't happen. You be like, nigga, what are you talking about? The moment you start saying the shit didn't happen, you look guilty as fuck. 50% of that room is gonna take it as a joke, and then the other 50% is gonna be like, yo, I mean, Akeem's friend Talkin, like, he's cute, but
did he really do that?
I want niggas be fucking midgets and shit. I don't know. He might be too freaky for me, girl.
The way
that's just how it happens.
We're kind of smart though. I'd be like, yeah, nigga, that shit was wild.
But don't play it like that. That's me and you. The game, like me and my friends, we used to do that to motherfuckers all the time, just to watch them deny it. I told you how the nigga D got me at the elevator. This nigga had this bad bitch thinking that I might be a child pedophile or something. You know what I'm saying? And I knew better than to sit there and deny it to her. I just walked off like, nigga, whatever, bitch. He got it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, but it's true.
Right.
You say Akeem raped you. You say Talkin raped you. You never get that back once you utter those words. Nope. I don't care how much DNA comes out that says I didn't do it. I don't know how much all the circles.
Niggas gonna be looking at me funny.
People's always. There's gonna be companies that don't want to fuck with us.
Right.
There's gonna be sponsors that don't want to fuck with us. Case in point, the nigga Joe said man came on the pod. He's like, man, lost a couple of million this week, boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a couple of $1 million bags was like, hey, yo,
this shit not right.
So now. You're a little hot right now, my guy. We'll catch you on the re-up.
You gonna have it come up again. We know you.
We'll catch you on the re-up. We'll catch you when nobody's talking about this. Right now, if it gets announced that we're endorsing you or we're signing your podcast, there's going to be a group of women that be like, oh, so you support men that make it uncomfortable for women in the workplace? Like, You can't do it. You can't do it. Some shit you don't really get to you don't get cleared from. So, unfortunately, I think Charlamagne finds himself in that. Some people will call it poetic justice. Some people say it's karmatic. But I know people that have been falsely accused. So I'm gonna need you to get out the game, nigga, and get your ass a little bit more prepared. Man.
Fuck you, bro. I feel up here worried about getting this shit ready.
Nah. I don't want to hear that shit. You talking to me.
Fuck you.
Nigga, all you gotta do is go downstairs.
I don't even know if I got water ready or bottles right now to kiss my ass, man. So what?
I'm just telling you. Motherfucking alter reality.
Nigga, if I ain't got it, you got it. If you ain't got it, I got
That
it.
ain't
Kiss
the point.
my ass, nigga.
That ain't the point. We ain't talking about that.
Nigga, what's last on the fucking
We ain't
page,
talking about
nigga?
that, nigga. And we talking about, nigga, what you said, and this nigga got a bitch on Maury, nigga. You got a bitch on some Maury type shit, nigga.
On the game.
Bro, imagine this nigga. Imagine you being 18 playing this.
Oh, God.
That's all I'm saying. Y'all niggas wild.
Wildin'.
Hey, man, to everybody involved in the CTG, scandal, I guess, issue, drama, peace and love and prosperity. If this man is guilty,
He ain't shit.
God has his way of working those things out.
And if he's not guilty, y'all
And if
ain't
he's
shit.
not guilty, you know what I'm saying? God has a way of working these things out. Let go and let God, and let justice handle this. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, if it's not true, he's been affected by it negatively.
Super.
And you know, if it is true, then you know we have to wait and let time and karma take its place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me see what I have. I had okay. In other news, Amazon is nearing a deal to purchase the MGM.
Who gives a fuck about what I don't even want to talk about.
The nearly $9 billion deal will turn a film operation funded in the silent era into a streaming asset for the e-commerce giant. So what do we think about that though? Like, I mean, if Amazon buys, I think it's dope.
I mean, it's just what the only reason they're doing it is to get rid of the HBO fucking monopoly, HBO and Disney Plus monopoly that's going on right now.
I think that's a good thing.
I'm not saying it's not, but I know why the move is happening because HBO Max has all the movies going into theaters that aren't just only in theaters.
Yeah, I know.
Disney Plus has every Disney movie, Pixar movie, all that shit where you ain't got to go to a movie theater.
It's the
So the only logical move, because Amazon Prime, they have a couple cool little joints, little movies, little hidden gems on there, but they're not competing with Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu, fucking. They're not even competing with Crackle, and Crackle's free.
the thing
Crackle
about
has
Amazon,
better movies.
what Amazon is doing is Amazon's winning off their original products.
But they're not going to be able to keep competing off that because Netflix has original products and some of the hit movies. HBO Max has fucking.
The thing is, Netflix is the OG. Netflix started all this, so Netflix had the win. Netflix had everybody's shit, and then they realized capitalism. Everybody realized, like, wait a minute.
But HBO
Instead
Max,
of re-upping with Netflix,
right?
First person to go was Disney, and then it was Showtime. They pulled their shit.
Okay,
right?
But here's my thing: HBO Max is now second place. That move with catching all the movies.
Yeah, no, that was a win for them.
So the only way that Amazon Prime is even going to be able to compete anymore is by doing that move. Is by buying MGM.
Well, no, that's part of the game because now they're gonna get that. They're gonna get that stream of film.
They don't need that because, like I said, they're not. They can't be winning in the streaming space.
That's what I think this move is set for. This
Right.
move is a chess move to position themselves to potentially win in a streaming space.
Because, like I said, it's gonna be the only way they can. You have to buy up a movie studio,
Right,
or you'd have to
guess what?
sponsor with one.
Guess what? Keem ain't really jumping in line to go to the movies. And I know there's a lot of people that feel
I
like
got
me.
HBO Max.
Me too. There's a lot of people that feel just like me. I've had it. I got it once the story broke, because I do the Wall Street Journal thing. Once it broke that HBO Max had got the contract to get all of them. I mean, Paramount Plus, they have their own streaming service.
You know what I'm waiting for
Like, you know
HBO
what I'm
Max to put up, and I'm pissed off that they haven't yet? Martin.
Yeah.
Martin was a HBO production.
I know.
So I'm like, why the fuck?
trying to
How
think.
is Martin not on
It's
HBO Max?
What is Martin on? It's on something.
No, but I'm just saying, how does HBO?
You sure it's not on HBO?
It's not. I looked it up.
I know it's on. I got so many streaming services at the house now, bro.
But no, but does that?
Trying to think of
But
what
that
it's
don't
on.
even
What's
make
it on?
sense, right? Because HBO was the production company that made Martin. It was a big HBO sign on the end of that shit.
It was on to something though. I mean, shit. I don't know. Maybe they
But
don't have the
it's
rights
just
no more.
nah. There's no way they would have. There was no.
Because I think
Oh, MTV might
Yeah.
own the rights.
it's on something else, bro. Like I've seen it.
MTV might own the
It's
rights.
on one of the streaming services I have at the house. Martin is on it.
Yeah, I think and MTV must have sold it because you got to think about it. Where was Martin last seen at?
MTV.
Yep. Same with the Wayans brothers. They might own the rights to both of those
Might have bought
shows.
that shit.
From
Or, you know,
WB, or
with
they bought
with mergers and things
they
like
bought
that.
what you call it probably from WB, or WB might even be a part of Viacom, nigga. Viacom is that big sister company, the big umbrella company for MTV, for VH1, for fucking BET, for they own almost all.
I thought one of them shits turned into the UW, the CW now.
WB did, but I think Viacom owns CW.
All that shit. Yeah, so
Viacom is like one of the top 10 corporations in America.
Right. So I'm already
Biggest
knowing.
corporations in America. Most like could shut whole shits down. Corporations
They're conglomerates. They own shit.
own hellish.
Multiple things. You know what I
I
mean?
think they own most music channels. Viacom does.
Me too. Man, actually, bro, they just own a lot of media, period.
Yep.
Because I know a lot of, they own, Revolt is with Viacom.
Yeah. We ain't done yet, nigga. We ain't done yet, nigga.
I ain't heard you.
Nothing. What you got?
That was it, really.
Oh, slow ass phone. Oh, new slow phone.
Not at all.
You probably just got 8 million fucking tabs open on your shit.
That's it for the day, man. That's all I had. I just thought that was interesting. Something to keep your eye on. See what response from that. I'm starting to see that a lot of it just goes to show you, man, new media. This streaming shit is wide open. You know what I mean? I look for them to probably have a podcast division. Everybody else do. You know, so we'll see, man.
Figure out what the fuck we're doing with our shit.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll keep it we'll keep our eyes open on that, and like I said, see what spawns from it. It's just I feel like as creators must always keep their eye on the ball, man. And like some of this shit gets boring. It's things that seem like, in a perfect world you would just be able to create.
Cause I'm gonna keep
and
the.
others will handle your business.
I'm
and shit
gonna
like that.
piggyback off
That's
this.
not the world we live in no
this,
more.
I'm gonna keep this a million, and this nigga knows me. It's hard for me to do this shit every week. I have my ups, I have my downs. I have my days where this shit is completely boring to me. I have days where this shit's exciting to me. I have days where I can't wait to do this. I have days where I'm like, I want to get this shit over with. And that all goes with just content creating. If every content creator, I guarantee, goes through this. Like, it's not. All of us ain't built to fucking blow up overnight.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Or follow or chase controversy.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of shit that we can come in and tag our videos to and just talk about.
Can't do it.
Look, man, shout out to Kwame Brown. Shout out to a black man that said, enough is
Stop
enough.
fucking talking about
And
me.
I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm going to speak out, and I'm going to speak my truth.
Right.
I respect that. I'm not here to exploit that.
No. We talked about it. And
Joe
we
Budden's
left
my
it
man.
there.
I fuck with the Joe Budden podcast.
We
Actually
talked
met up with
about
those
it.
cats and spoke to them before.
Right.
But at the same time, we let niggas know what's going on.
We talk about it and we move the fuck
We
on.
move the fuck on, bro. I'm not trying to. Hey, Mo 3, I was a Mo 3 fan. His death is like a fucking movie. There's all kind of shit going on. I'm watching niggas birth channels and get to 100,000 subscribers, and they got 30 videos up all talking about Mo3 and accusing this person and
Right.
saying this about this person. Hey, man, I watch it. I check it out. I keep an ear to it. Hey, that's not what this platform is. That's not what we do. That's not our comfort zone.
We ain't
feel me?
here to be boring. We ain't here to clickbait you.
It's like
Our episode, you think about our description in our episode is the same. It's a description of what our podcast is. It's episode, whatever the number of the episode is.
right.
We could go and clickbait you. We could put whatever the fuck we wanted right there. But I'm just
It's bricklaying.
right.
Some niggas is willing to do the foundation, and lay the bricks, man, and build something from the ground up, and we see, it only time will tell. Time is always going to separate the real from the fake. At the end of the day, this shit is all hip hop. I don't care what you call it. It's speaking our truth on a platform.
Yep.
Platform built by us. You know what I mean? ATS gang, man. That's what it is.
That bias, you know what? Bias, talking about, made me think about FUBU. I'm really interested to see what they come out with. I
They
want to
redoing
see
that revamp that shit.
want to see what the new line of FUBU gonna be. I might have to get some for the culture. You know,
Hey, bro.
that came from the culture, bro. I might have to have some FUBU
It's
again,
all
bro.
about the culture, man.
Right.
You know
If
what
they
I'm saying?
brought Mecca back, if Nietzsche had a resurgence, if they brought nigga, I wish
Carl
they
Kanai, all
Triple
that.
Five Soul
Yeah,
Sweat
all
Fits
that.
came back out,
Come
bro.
on.
I really wish they did. I wish Triple Five Soul came back again, nigga. They
I
had the
guarantee you probably
coldest
could find
Sweat
some
Fits.
shit.
I think she's, is a white chick from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I think she still makes clothes, but she had the coldest Sweat Fits for when she was
Yeah.
out, bro. Triple
Yeah,
Five Soul was killing
She
it
did
with
her
the Sweat
thing,
Fit
man.
game.
I remember them shits. Yeah, man.
And it was not cheap. Shit was 180 for the whole
It
fit.
goes to show you, bro, like, we just got to rethink about how we look at wins.
Right.
I was talking to somebody, man, they told me this, like, yeah, man, that's crazy. N1 is in Walmart now. They fell off.
They got a bit. No.
And I said, it
Them
depends.
original creators got a huge bag
Bro,
and
no, that's what I'm
sold it.
saying. It depends on how you look at it.
Them niggas made off beautifully.
It's all
They made
perspective.
something for the culture, about the culture, embraced in the culture, didn't vulture the culture, and then walked
They
away.
saw
from
their
it.
idea through.
Yeah. Today.
You don't hear any horror stories about any of the athletes that endorse them.
Nope.
It's all love to this day.
Look at Professor still out here.
Right.
YouTube videos
And they got
their
their shit. They got their shit right, man. Like, I seen the dudes, the founders of YouTube, of FUBU, of N1. They stepped in and helped LeVar Ball when he was putting his shoe together, man, for his son. So, I just, it's something that we all have more in common,
right?
Than we have.
It was
not in
what? It
common.
was three dudes that like fucking street basketball, and thought it should have more of a fucking outlet.
And
they got an ESPN deal.
And speaking on the culture vulturism,
was one of the expensive shoes before it went to fucking Walmart.
And culture vulturism, like something to be said. Like, we're not slaves anymore. We're free. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Understand, ain't nothing. I'll never speak out against education. Education comes in many forms.
Educate yourself.
I've been on college campuses. I've been in college classrooms. Let me tell you something. A man or a woman that's on a mission, that has passion in their heart, sky's the limit. That's all the education you need. Read up on things that you're curious about. Ask questions. Remain humble. You know what I mean? Like, we're going through some things in our society that are kind of undercover. A lot of people don't pay attention to. This isn't a conspiratorial podcast. This is, like I said, we're not being political to the point where we're trying to come off as if we have all the answers. But if you just pay attention to the things that's going on, pay attention to the stock market, educate yourself on investing, educate yourself. I'm talking to the hustlers right now. Educate yourselves on shadow investments. A lot of you cats is out there getting money, and you're just waiting. You're a ticking time bomb. You're just waiting. You're just waiting for something to go left. You're just waiting for shit to go bad for you. And when it goes bad for you, you're gonna wish that you invest in something. You're gonna wish that you did this. You're gonna wish you have a sister or a cousin that's a licensed cosmetologist or barber, and they're working for somebody and giving them rent booth, and you're making $30,000, $15,000 a week doing whatever it is you're doing. It's about being smarter, man, and playing the game. I'm gonna be coming back up on this podcast, getting a lot more serious about some things that we as a culture need to do to participate in this game. But right now your boy is in research mode, and I'm just getting the analysis and my data right. But unless you got something else to share with them, man, this all we're gonna wrap it up, bro. It's your boy Akeem Sincere.
Hold on, we're doing that all wrong right now.
Going wrong. I was just letting them, just giving my love, nigga. Just letting the niggas know, man. I'm signing off. You know what I'm saying?
That's another episode of Always Talking Shit Show in the books.
It's facts.
Your boy Doc on.
It's your boy Akeem Sincere, man.
And as usual, it's fuck how you feel.
Well, fuck you.
New Always Talking Shit Show.